Hello everybody, Manithral here, and welcome to the weekly update video for RS3. Now this week we see a make good mini-dxp this week in RuneScape. So they're basically extending the short double XP event because some people have not been able to, so they're trying to make good and making it fair for everybody. And also next week, which is going to be a big thing, which is League's Catalyst is coming out. So I do want to talk a little bit about League's Catalyst, as I've seen a lot of people give their input on it. There's only one problem I see with the input, but we'll get to that. Leagues will be launching 11:15 BST next week, so that is awesome. The teams will be doing the final checks and pushing the League's con out for live servers. This is aimed to be finished just before 1 p.m. BST. So they're giving all the time they need to be sure. They'll be communicating any changes in launch time via the social channels, in-game broadcasts, and news posts. Once a team has completely signed off on it, it will be going live. But they're 11:15 is the maintenance downtime. And then they're aiming for having this to be shortly after. So that is pretty awesome. I'm hoping it hits when they say. Also, they've been working with RuneScape Wiki to have the Catalyst League tasks. So you can go there to see about the different tasks. Ahead of launch, they've uploaded all the early or the easy and medium tasks coming to Leagues. So we can check them out actually currently, which is pretty awesome. And then the RS guide is out it is a collaboration with the RS guy and some of his associates, if you will, giving people basically a rundown if you're not familiar with RuneScape and you want to play it. The only problem I see with it is it's not so much of the game is hard to learn early on. It's just that it can be a little daunting to see that there's all this content and to have that strive of never being able to catch up on an MMO that's been out for so long. But this at least helps the curve for people who are starting out. Maybe there is going to be some more stuff from even the RS guy, myself, or somebody who can help people feel more inclined to play as time goes on. Patch notes, with Leagues fast approaching, there is none this week as they're getting ready for next week. The Treasure Hunter calendar, starting the 8th and then the 15th, is double XP dozen. Community Showcase, up first we have the Mascot, which is a knitted Mascot new combat boss, but they actually knitted one. That is pretty cool. And completing RuneScape RS3 Completion Escape Finale. Just until the new content comes out, though, they're silenced RS. But congratulations on that. And pet hunting can be a long process. Demas can verify that. They went weeks hunting just for one pet in general. And an OSRS player guide to RuneScape 3, the interface, combat goals, achievements, etc., etc. Trying to make it more friendly towards people who are playing OSRS, but maybe you want to try out RS3. Honestly, both have their nice little quirks to them. I love them both. And Maple Log, overseeing some interesting clashes between the gods. And can you believe about the Beekeeper with Haley Pandora? Pink Skirt player events. Don't forget to check your in-game calendar for a full list of events that are going on, because they do all kinds of amazing things that are worth checking out, including skilling, bossing, you name it, learner events. If it's out there, they have it. And Community Spotlight is going to Boss School, so if you're a seasoned PVMer who wants to help out people hone their skills, go to FC Boss School World 36 VC required. Is a join Discord GG/Boss School. And they have events all throughout the week, but do check them out as well. Because much like Pink Skirt player events, they have a ton of stuff going on constantly. So now, Go from a nice dark page to a nice bright page. Alright, so we have a little bit of a problem as far as actually talking about leagues and understanding what is to come. We only know of one tier, well, two tiers technically. We have tier 1, which is 10 points. So this is given by completing the tutorial to unlock your first relic, which you got the excavator. We'll get in more into detail of these. Excavator, divine woodcutter, animal wrangler. But then we also know of a tier 4, which is the rejuvenated, which allows you to pick another 1, 2, or 3 tier relic instead of the 4 tier relic. Now here was where the problem comes. We know of a lot of different relics now. But the problem is we don't know where they all fall. And here is my one problem with this. And it's not a major problem. It's one that you can't say, this is definitively the best one. If you don't pick this, you're a noob. It's just like, no, there is none of that. And mostly because a lot of what... I will say there is definitively one that everybody should be picking. And that is the banker's note. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is you receive a banker's note as an inventory item, which grants access to your bank from almost anywhere in the world. So there is going to be some areas, probably going to be potentially the higher end boss scaling, or some areas where you're in constant danger, because I got a feeling how it's going to operate is if you are in combat, you will not be able to access the banker's note. So that being said, the rest of them are kind of not that bad. Now, that being said, with being able to access the bank anywhere, but it also gives you the option, which to me this doesn't make sense. But I guess if you're in a combat setting, to activate option allows you to note items in one in one action with a specified quantity. You can set this amount by using the item on the note. So this is already helpful for skilling, and it's already helpful for bossing, combat, etc., etc. Mainly manually use items on the banknote to note and unnote items directly into your inventory. So, depending on how that works, if it means that you can pretty much just use it freely, that actually makes a lot of these starter ones kind of frivolous as far as which one is the best one. So, my personal opinion is banking ores automatic. Okay, so grants a pickaxe. We'll go over the excavator first. We got a pickaxe that provides mining archaeology benefits, counting as both pickaxe and matic, which is kind of nice, but it's not really a huge deal. While training mining, this is what happens. Ores are automatically banked, ores are automatically smelted, and gems are automatically cut. Double damage during raw opportunities. All of those are actually pretty good. However, if you have the banker's note, you can pretty much note everything. Or just send it straight to your bank anyway. The only difference is you would actually have to smith it. But I don't really see that as a horrible deal anyway. Because what does it essentially do, even though it doesn't give a lot, it would reduce your time down into gaining respect in the artisan's workshop. And while training archaeology with the tool equipped, bank archaeology materials automatically. Pretty good. The 5 times chrono gain, that's actually pretty good, but I don't know how many times I've actually, between my main and any of my sides, have actually used chronotes enough to actually have to worry, other than in the beginning when you're trying to get everything going. Material costs to restore the artifact is halved. That's pretty good. It's not too bad normally though. And I'll discuss this why. This is why I'm not a big fan of this one, actually, in general. Archaeology Journal acts as a free soil scanner, so that's actually pretty cool. Geodes have a chance of containing archaeology and materials, so that's pretty cool too. However, I haven't really, in the whole time, because I primarily play Iron Man accounts, especially the hardcore ones, I haven't really ever come across a point where I'm struggling to have content for archaeology. Even playing at the base rate and trying to complete sets, I find it actually, my archaeology XP is exponentially faster than I am actually getting the materials and making the complete checklist. It could just be my luck, but very few times have I actually had to go and do any kind of questing this way and get access to getting materials, raw resources to restore artifacts. So I haven't really had any issues with that. Same with the Chronotes. Other than the very beginning, I haven't really had any issues with Chronotes. And the Chronotes is just because sending the team out to get as many materials as possible. So, it depends on how you play it, but I think the whole archaeology system as it currently exists, and this is at base XP, because you got to keep in mind when you first start leagues, you're going to be getting a 4 times XP multiplier. And it only goes up as you get more and more points. So, if it's already hard, or if it's already easy enough to get it, it's going to be even easier at a 4 times multiplier. And if I'm getting it at a 4 times multiplier, that means it's just going to be rapid. And mining I just see is very easy in general. You don't even need to worry about the mining tool, especially if you have the banker one, which it's hard to say which one that's going to be. I'm going to say it's at least tier 3 for the banker note. If this is tier 4, then I think the banker note's going to be at least tier 3. And I don't know how many things are going to be in per tier. That's the only other problem too. Now, Divine Woodcutter, I wouldn't be necessarily a big fan of, because if you think about it, everything with, except for this section right here, this is all stuff that can be gained basically as you're playing the game. Because you can get the infernal ads and then you can just chop and burn trees normally. There's an invention perk that does that. But the unburnt logs being sent is assuming you don't toggle them to be automatically burnt. That's not bad. That's not great. Sorry. Bird's nest being sent back. I mean, if I got the banker's note, I don't really need that. A divination with the tool. Memories are automatically deposited straight into the rift. That's actually kind of nice. It saves you trips from going back and forth. Chronicles are captured instantly. That's pretty nice. Energy springs less than 60 seconds. That's pretty nice. This is overall really good as well. But divination is not really a hard skill to train. And this doesn't really speed it up much, other than because if I'm going to be trying to speed through divination, the thing I'm going to be doing is Guthixie and caches, which I know the RS guy, he mentioned about that too. It's just like, I kind of got to agree with him about that one. This one, kind of, I would say it's not the best option, but if you really don't like woodcutting, this might be a good one. Not to mention, you get into the higher logs, it might actually be very good. Because imagine just having the logs being sent back automatically is kind of nice sometimes. But if you have the banker's note, then you don't really need to worry about it. Now, the one I'm leaning towards, personally, is the Animal Wrangler. Because not only there's no bait required, so I don't have to worry about bait. I know eventually the housing gets that, but it takes, level 80 plus construction to be able to get. 50% increased catch rate. That's pretty good in catch rate increase. All fish caught are sent to the bank and you can have them automatically cooked. So cooking doesn't take a whole lot of time. But I don't have to worry about cooking. And see, that's my thing there, is I don't have to worry about cooking. But now the big part about this to me is this right here. So while training hunter with the tool equipped, traps never fail. All hunter loot is sent to the bank. Double hunter loot. Now the reason why I think this is very good, and this is going to be very good for prayer too, because all my hunter loot is now being doubled. So whenever I get into the big game hunter, which is a very good way to get XP in with hunter late game, plus all the hides, plus all the other loot that you're getting, right there, you're getting double that loot, and it's going straight to your bank. So I think that's pretty good. But I'd have to say between all these, it would have to be between these, but I think Animal Wrangler is the top one. Now we go into the combat ones. I got a feeling these are all going to be within the same category. There's going to be a tier that is a combat tier. And my biggest opinion in this one is, granted, yes, all these are extremely good. But the melee combat one is probably the best one. Reason being is because I've done plenty of combat with ranged, mage, and necromancy now. And all of those generally hit pretty solid. Except for melee. Now, the only problem is saving ectoplasm and runes when casting abilities and incantations 25% larger and deal 25% more damage. So that would be pretty good. And unlocking all abilities from the Necromancy Well of Souls talent tree. And there's only select things that are actually immune to necromancy, which is interesting. And I'm not even going to talk about this rejuvenated one, because that's pretty good. I just don't know what it's going to be paired against. I got a feeling, if anything, it's going to be paired with these ones right here. The Ascension and Specialist, and then it'll probably be rejuvenated, because this way it gives you a chance at more skilling ones, and these give you a chance of furthering your melee capability, or your weapon capability. But if that is the case, I would definitely go rejuvenated. But the whole thing with that is this here Ascension one is pretty good. Specialist is alright, but that's if you're big into special attacks. The teleportation one, they're all really good. These just get you to your Slayer master and targets very fast. The only thing I will remind you is that the teleporting to any Slayer master is eventually going to be irrelevant, because eventually you're going to get your Slayer cape, and then it's only going to be about teleporting to Slayer dungeon, which can be done with the Dungeoneering cape almost as well. So that one is a little topsy-turvy. I think between the Voidwalker and the Fairy Flight, you got a pretty good one right there between those two. Now, you guys all know how I feel about the Banker's Note. I think that's like a top tier one. Farming Frenzy, absolutely top tier. Golden Footed, very good. Production Master is also very good. Perfection, very good. 5-figure discount, it's alright. Mostly because, okay, so here, I'm mostly talking about the ones I'm bashing. So here's why I'm not too impressed with 5-finger discount one. So significantly improve your thieving abilities. That's okay. Never fail a thieving check. That's really good. All thieving loot is noted. That's moot as far as level 99. Stealing from stalls does not cause them to deplete. That's good at lower levels, but let's face it, as time goes on, you're probably not going to be doing that. You're probably going to hit up shifting tombs or the tombs themselves just to be able to do thieving. So that's not going to be a big deal. Reduce safe cracking down to cooldown to 1 minute. That's actually pretty good, especially whenever you're into the Deep Wilderness and Rook's Tower. That'd be really amazing there. And then we have optimizing your clue solving with the clue connoisseur. And honestly, I gotta say, that's really good too. Like, there's a lot of these that are really, really good. I kind of like the clue connoisseur. The only bad thing is I don't know the categories, and nobody knows the categories right now of the different tiers. And as you can see here, there is different tiers. So you get a total of 7 relics and grand total. So there's probably going to be at least 3 relics per. And right here we have, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we almost have enough to have 3 choices per tier. So that does leave to guess that there is a couple more days here. So there's probably going to be more. There's probably going to be more than 4 options per tier if that's the case. Because a lot of these days we have been given multiple examples. So if they give 1 to 2 per day, and we're already at 20, that means we're sitting about 5 more yet, and that's going to be close to 4 a day. 4 per tier, sorry. There probably will be some higher end combat ones. These are probably the introductory combat ones. There's usually a bigger combat one yet too. But yeah, guys, let me know what you're planning, because I personally don't know. The only one I know I'm planning on is I'm going to start with Animal Wrangler. Sorry for those who are fans of the Divine Woodcutter, but I gotta agree with the RS guy. That one, they did everybody dirty with that one. They could have done it so you get more XP or more memories, or more energy, I should say. More energy with the Rift. Kind of like how you get 5 times more Chronet gain, maybe 3 times more energy gain. You know, something to really beef that one up. This one appears very good at the surface, but you can kind of already speed through archaeology if you're patient enough. Well, I'm not patient enough. It's not that like it's overly time consuming. It's just that I'm a person who needs to switch between my skills. That's why I have a set rotation. The combat ones, I'm really trying to think between these 2 right here, because unlocking all abilities from Necromancy, Well of Souls talent tree, that is really, really good. 100% hit chance. But this is also really good too, especially with the healing. The other 2, yeah, they're good, but you don't really use a whole lot of runes. You don't use a whole lot of ammunition depending on the bow you get to. And my single target enemy, I want it to be able to hit 1 enemy at a time, most likely. Teleportation, I feel like there's already easier ways around in the game than what most of these offer. This just really shrinks it down. And then all these are good, especially the Farming Frenzy. It's probably got to be one of the best ones there. That and the Clue, Coinosaur, and the Banker. But we don't know the tiers. Alright, but that'll do it for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time. Later, guys.